Hey, welcome. We are back. We are back. It's been a little while, y'all. This is the Thought Candy Podcast. I'm your host, Mr. Millionaire Mindset. I got my man Philly with me here.
Philly's in the building.
Philly's in the building. Look at him. Diehard Eagles fan. Congratulations to those Eagles.
You know I'm gloating.
Salute you for
No,
that championship.
you know it.
I
You
already know
know
you're going to win on it, right? He's got his gear representing. Listen, we appreciate you guys. The Eagles is flying high.
fly,
Um,
Eagles, fly.
yes, sir. Yes, sir. Congratulations to your squad, man. Listen, we have been away from this thing for a little while. Life has been life in y'all, but hey, we know the goal is always to inspire, educate, and motivate. Uh, inspire, educate, and motivate. And something that we say, we hope that it resonates within your spirit. You know, we're gonna talk about some great things. We're gonna talk about some deep things. We're gonna talk about some funny things, and we'll jump right in and get right to the point with this one today. We're not gonna hold you long, but Philly, it's just kind of handling the loss of loved ones, man. I noticed there's been a wave of funerals and loss between us with loved ones, be it friends, family, friends that are like family, and things of that sort. And I want to jump into that, but first I want to just ask, man, how you been? How you been doing? How's life? How's life for you these days?
Thank you. Yeah, it's good. It's life, and I think this is life right here. You got your ups, you got your downs, you got your in betweens. When I wake up every day, man, and man, I thank the grace of God, man, who gets me up every day and gives me another 24 hours, and always blessed to get another 365 you know around the sun. So I'm good, bro. I'm really good. What about yourself, man? I'm telling you, I hope the site is pretty. I hope your eyesight's pretty good, man. Cause I'm loving the specs, bro. I feel like
Listen,
I gotta call you Don or something.
hey, listen. Shout out to the old, throwback Caselli type, style. I'm an old school head, just like yourself. But I decided to put the specs on, man. I feel a little bit flyer. I feel a little bit smarter. It's a beautiful thing. They're not even prescription. It's
Okay,
just
all
I
right,
see very well. It's just for aesthetic. I'm
all right.
doing
Rock 'em
great
well.
though.
Rock
I'm
'em well.
doing
You rock 'em
Yes,
well.
sir. I appreciate you. I'm doing well, man. The family's good. Just taking it one day at a time, slow motion, blessed and highly favored, and grateful. Oh, so grateful just to be among the living, brother. Um,
Yes.
as far as this topic is concerned, like I said, we've been losing a lot of loved ones, be it friends or family, and I just want to dive right on into it, just so we don't, waste any time. um, Handling loved ones, we know it's a tough thing. We've been rocking for a long time, like many moons now, and we've all suffered some loss at some point in time, or had a friend that was close to us that may have suffered a loss, be it a sibling, a parent, whoever, childhood friend. We've all kind of gone down this road, and it's never easy. It doesn't get any easier as we get a little older, but we're in that phase now where it seems to be a lot more frequent, and it's happening. Like every year that turns around, you got to look forward to good things, but you have to also look forward to the loss as well. Um, how do you react to getting that type of news when you've lost a loved one, or find out that someone has passed away, gone on to the Lord?
Man, man, it's funny we bring this topic up, man, to the Thought Candy podcast, because as of recently, and I'm saying over the last 6 months, I've known some folks that had lost some folks. And in the process, and with saying that, I mean, if they lost some folks and they were close to me, that means I lost some folks as well. A good friend of mine, um, and knowing this man for 30 plus years, known his son. His son passed away, um, man, a few months ago. Hit me hard. Um, just recently, good friend of mine, pastor, passed away. Attended his church. Um, my next door neighbor, growing up as a teenager, uh, he wouldn't mind me sharing this. His son shot down in the streets of Philadelphia.
Mm.
It hits you. It hits you. It hits you hard. It hits it. It. And I don't share a lot, but a lot of times I keep it to myself. Is it a good thing or a bad thing? I don't know. Uh, Dealing with a loss is it's a tragic thing, and this is I think this is what we bring to the table today. How does one deal with it? Uh, Sometimes I look at it and go, man, am I right for what I'm doing or what I believe? It's hard for me to go to the funeral because it reminds me of my mother.
Yeah.
Whatever reason, that's what it reminds me of, and it's hard for me to go to the funeral, but I have to sit there and pay my respects. So I'll go pay my respects, but it's hard for me to actually go inside and, you know, sometimes give my condolences and or just take a viewing of the body. But it's hard for me to sit there and do it. And I don't want anybody who's watching that I know personally, I don't want them to take it the wrong way if I don't go to the viewing and or the funeral itself. So it's really hard to deal with, and I'm glad you brought this up because I think it's something we really need to talk about. Um, and I know you've had some loss in your area of friendship and family as well. So I don't know. Let's talk about it. But
Yeah. I mean, the news comes in so many forms and fashions. I've gotten phone calls. I've seen messages on social media where I had no idea. And the one that really hit home the most, or one of the ones that hit home the most, was the loss of my brother back last year in January. And it was totally unexpected. Health related, heart attack. Found out some different things about his situation, like plaque on the heart or something like that. It was some kind of blockage that occurred, and this dude was, he was in good shape and doing his thing and really just kind of taking care of himself. And life takes those type of turns. So I got that call, and obviously it was devastating to find out that this is somebody that I talk to as much as I can. You know, Chicago boy, born raised in Southeast San Diego. Chi-town bred, Cali raised, and I like to go back and visit as much as I can. So now, not being able to go back and do that or be able to pick up the phone and call him is a difficult thing. So when I reacted, it was initially like stunned, numb, like, no, I'm not hearing this right now. So when you first get that news, and it's dependent on who it is and how close you were to them to you, whatever, um, you're stunned initially. And then you just kind of go from there. I mean, instantly the water started pouring, you know what I'm saying? And it was that overwhelming emotion, like, no, why? And you go through these different types of emotions. um I lost one of my best partners that's basically a in-law of the family. I married his cousin, my first wife. We're no longer together now, but his daughter passed away. And that was tragic the way it happened. um, got that news and was totally just blown away, like, no, this young person has so much life left. um, Friends along the way, be it personal friends from 20, 30 years, church. The most recent was a buddy that I've known for the past 20 years through one of our mutual partners, and it just really just blew me away to hear that this dude was gone. And he had just gone through so much last year to come to the beginning of this year, and you pass on your birthday, bro. I'm hearing that that's supposed to be some level of completion spiritually, like you lived a full life. But I'm like, man, okay, so you born on this day and you die on the day that you were born. I don't quite get that, but I mean, the reaction it varies, but it all hurts. It's all painful when it boils down to it.
I mean, but my how do you how 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 do we sit there and mourn that? How do we sit there and show our respects to that person that passed and the family? Because I'm pretty sure if you knew that person, I'm pretty sure you knew their family. Sometimes it is your family, your family members.
Yeah.
Uh, and they say you're far away. How do you do? Do you make that call? Do you go out and fly out to show your respect? Uh, what do you say? Is there a time frame? Because with me, the gentleman that passed away, he was a pastor of mine, and we would get together about every other couple of weeks,
Hmm.
golf balls, and we would just talk about life. It wasn't always him sitting here, you know, bestowing the word to me. It was just we just having a good time talking sports or whatever it was. And we became, he became, a friend of mine.
Yeah.
So do I give the family a little time to themselves? Do I reach right out? I mean, is there a time frame for that? And when it comes to, you know, mourning or reaching out to the family to give your condolences, you know,
It
because I
depends on how close you are to the family, because if you were somebody that was around on a daily, weekly, monthly, yearly basis, and you showed up for dinners and holidays and birthdays and things of that sort, that's going to be welcomed and probably expected that you call and reach out. You'll probably have better access. If it's somebody that was just kind of, one of your partners that you hung out with and never really got in tune with the family like that, because we have different levels of friends and
yeah, and
right,
friendships exactly.
yeah, and friendships, and so it depends on how close you were to that person. If you're able to reach out to somebody in the family, then maybe you just shoot a text and say, hey, I heard the news, I'm so sorry to hear it. I know you need some time here, but I'll catch up with you soon. I'm just praying for you.
Yeah, I hear you. I hear you. Let me interject. I hear what you're saying. Me being the age that I am, I know I only look about 26 or 27, but uh, the age that I am, I'm going to call them. That's just me. I'm going to call them. Hey, I'm sorry. If you need anything, let me know. I'm going like, and I agree with you. It depends on how close you may be with the family and or that particular person. You know, hey, let me give them a day or two to sit there and do what they need to do when it comes to the family.
No
Then
matter who it is, they may not pick up the phone right away. So
that's
you
true.
may be forced to leave a message, even if you call.
You got a point. You got a
Yeah,
point. You
yeah.
got a point. So that's my reason of if the weighing the friendship and depending on who it is and how close I was, like you said, or how close one is. with that particular person that's passed away. And I'm a call in type person. I'm a, hey, I heard about this, that, and the other. Man, I understand. I just wanted to sit there and give my condolences. If you need anything, hey, I'm a phone call away or whatever. Hey, I'll call you in a day or two. That's
Right.
kind of me. I don't know if it's wrong or right, but that's me. Friend of mine, like I say, in Philadelphia, his son passed away, and he was my next door neighbor, and I was like, man, and it just hit me. But Sean, is happening so often right now. I'm getting to the point where, man, it's getting so close to me. They always say, hey, if it comes in twos, that third one's gonna come, right? So everything happens in threes. So as soon as that second one comes, you're knowing, man, in a couple of weeks, man, something I can feel it. Now I feel it kind of closing in on me a little bit, like, man, I'm, feeling a certain type of way.
Yeah. Yeah. It's rough, man. Like I said, you'll get um, you may get through. You may be able to pull up to the house. It depends on the level of friend that you are, were, whatever, right? You may be able to pull up to the house and go and just love on the family real quick and sit for a minute. But it depends if you're close enough. Times are tough these days. It's a lot going on. People can't just pick up and fly on a whim, to another state to go somewhere. And so there's been funerals that I had to miss, but with the power of technology and Zooms and things of that sort, they've done like a live stream, where
Oh,
I've been able
I've
to
seen
tune
that.
in,
We
right?
know,
So,
yeah,
so that's the workaround, right? You still show up and they can see who's pulled up on the live stream to view the
yes.
funeral. It's a different time now, but
You're right.
it just how you mourn is definitely one of those things that it kind of depends on the person. Some people go into a shell. Some people take a little bit more time to hold on a second. We live here. Had my babe calling on FaceTime. Anyway, um, we all mourn a little bit differently, right? And it's one of those things where you it depends on you as a person, how you take disappointment, how you handle pain, how you handle news that comes through like that, right? Some people lose it and spiral off and go and do crazy stuff. We've all kind of been there where, we might have just went and consumed a little bit too much alcohol or something like that. Can turn into a whole lot of extra problems and trouble. Some people withdraw and go into depressions and things of that sort, and they distance themselves from people. I mean, it just all really depends. I personally am someone who wants to surround myself around the love and the people that I really care about, because it makes you kind of reflect and focus on what's important, right?
Mm.
So that's me. I want to be around the positivity. I want to make sure that I'm reflecting on this loss and how I can move forward differently, uh, to maybe prolong or prevent the inevitable, which is we're all gonna go at some point,
Mm-hmm.
right? But that's the way I mourn. I might withdraw for a minute, I might shed some tears. I might really just have to take a ride, go think and get my thoughts together. But then ultimately, I want to be around the people that count. I want to be around the people that mean something to me. I want to be around the people that can be more on the let's enjoy the good times versus asking why did you take them, because honestly they don't have to worry anymore at this point. We are the ones that's going to have to deal with everything that's going on right here, and hopefully they've gone on to the so-called better place, right?
Mm.
and they don't have any worries. I feel like I have another angel just looking down on me. So I take the
Hmm.
positivity route, to say
Okay.
I'm gonna be around some people that I love and care about, and make sure that I maximize that time. And another thing that I wanted to mention is that since I lost my brother and a couple other folks, I promised myself that anytime I was thinking about any one of my friends or family, I'm picking up the phone and calling, because you might not get another chance to do that. Something I vowed. Anytime I was thinking, whether it's you or anybody else, I'm gonna pick up the phone. Hey, what's going on, homie? What's going on, fam? What's up? How you doing? I'm just tapping in because we haven't talked in a while. Or hey,
Does
who
it
knows
take?
what
You
could
see
happen?
here, um, but does it have to take that to
Sometimes
call?
yes. Sometimes yes, it does. Because life be lifing. You get caught up in your routine, your daily, weekly, monthly, yearly routine, and time gets away from you. Think about somebody that you look up and say, "Ooh, I ain't called so and so in a while," and they might be in the same city. You might not have called Camille in a minute, and 3, 4 weeks then went by. Some we talk to on a regular basis, but it depends, man. You try to call a couple times and they don't answer. You keep it moving. It happens. It happens.
It's a good point. Yeah, I guess
The
it
clock
kind of,
don't stop.
yeah, it kind of it puts that boom. Let me right. I got you.
And however it needs to happen, whatever the trigger is, it's just the fact that I've been losing so many people. When I think about somebody, I'm gonna call because you might not get a chance to call. I wanted to call bro the other day and I can't.
Yeah, that's
You might have wanted to call moms in at some point early on. You
yeah, that's
can't. Once they're gone, they're gone.
yeah, that's a good that's really a good point. It
Yeah.
shouldn't be no particular time. And I know I'm gonna be the first one. I think because nobody knows what we're thinking. I think about my family all day, every day.
Right.
I think about my cousin Roxanne. I think about my cousin Ray. I think about his kids. I think about his wife. That's just what I do. I think about my sisters. You know, I mean,
But if you don't call them, it's
right,
just a thought. They don't know you thinking about them. They don't
exactly.
have, you know what
And
I mean? They don't read
right.
minds.
And my daughter said that. She goes, I said, girl, I think about you every day. I think about you too I think about you every day, Dad. More than one time. I said, yeah, but she's a whole lot better. We're both a whole lot better. She's in the same city. We probably talk about 2 or 3 times a week.
Hmm.
Sometimes it'll go by and I may talk to her maybe once a week. I always tell my kids, hey, call me. Call me. Well, yeah, yeah, okay, okay, Dad. And like you say, life is life. Life is happening. So we
Life
can
is
just
life.
get, oh yeah. And I always tell my guys, I said, hey guys, I ain't gonna be here forever. Dad, you need to stop that. I said, I'm just being honest. I'm just sitting here stating the facts. I'm not gonna be here forever. Yeah. In my spirit, through my kids, yes, but I'm not gonna be here. The physical dad's not gonna be here. So you're right. We must take that time to reach out.
Yeah.
Even
Or
if
even
we're just
even
thinking.
spending the time, just spending the time,
Yeah,
making the memories. You know what I
yeah,
mean? You have to be intentional about getting together on a
right,
regular basis because you never know when that's not going to be possible
right.
anymore. You know
And
what I mean?
I'm big on that right now
I know
because
that's
of
why I'm
my
saying that. Yeah.
age and and the people around me, they know that. They know, so yeah, yeah, we getting together with dad, this, that, and the other. That's just how it is because
The cold part is you might not be the first one to go. We don't ever want to see anything happen to
ooh,
our kids, but think about that.
ooh,
You
say
you
that.
saying I'm getting up in age and I might not be around, but who's to say that they
Wow.
will be? And I
Wow.
don't I don't want to be the one to experience that. I promise you I don't. But the cold part is we can't control that. We can't control that.
Nugget, that's a
Um,
jewel. That's a jewel right there. You just dropped. I
yeah,
hope y'all
yeah,
listen to that.
absolutely. What would you say your solution or coping mechanism is for the loss that you've suffered,
Like I
anytime
said, bro.
from back to now, from way back to now.
Like I said, I kind of keep to myself. I reach out, and I kind of take it all in, and I ask the question. I've asked the question all the time. I continue to ask the question. Hey, man, why did this happen to this person? Yeah, great person. How? At the age of 40, how? What? God, what's going on? What's happening? Why I'm gonna always ask that because I can talk to my God like that. God, what's really speak to me?
Mm-hmm.
He'll come to me, and when we're sitting down one on one, he'll come to me and go, "Hey, this is the reason, son. This is this is the reason, my child. This is the reason why this happened."
Yeah.
Wow. And it's hard to it's still hard to take, but I have to accept it. But my thing, I just don't, because I've learned that we're all selfish. When one leaves us, that's when my mother left me. I was like, well, why did she have to go? I'm selfish. I wanted her to stay right here, opposed to saying, hey, she's good. It's all right. Let's celebrate her life. Let's not mourn her life. And that's where I'm going with it. Yeah, we should for that moment. But like you say, you get around people that show you love. You get around, you talk about the good times. You talk, me, I sit back and I'm just like, man, and I'm angry. That anger emotion comes out of me. Then after maybe a day or two, I kind of get the thought process kicking in again. And I go, all right, cool. Hey, what about those folks? What about more than just me? What about my sisters? What about the other family members that are going through what I'm going through? Now they got their own memories that they got to sit there and deal with. So I've
Yeah, they're
learned.
suffering the same loss, but they're just handling it in a different way.
Mhm.
They're handling it in a different way. And we all have our coping mechanisms. Some of them are good and some of them are real bad.
Mhm.
When you're talking about drinking and drugs and falling into depressions and people start overeating and stuff, I mean, we know there's so many causes of why people go, and we don't have a choice of how we go, right? We know it's going to happen, but how you cope with that loss of that person is key. This life is basically loaned to us. The people that are in it are loaned to us. And I hope and pray that everybody out there that's listening treats the people that are around them right, because once they're gone, they're gone. Your kids, if you're not treating them right and you're not showing them the right way, you're not showing them um, how to survive without you and be independent, it's going to be hard when you go, if you go first. We have to prep them to be able to move forward, but we also have to be able to move forward ourselves. Will the pain go away? Probably not, but it'll probably lessen and it'll be more able for you to deal with that pain. Like, I still miss my grandmother that I lost when I was probably like 15, 16 years old. I'm in my 50s now. But it still hurts to think about it because you have such dynamic people that make impacts in your life. You want to make sure that, you can't help but feel what you feel when you suffer that loss. But
Right.
you just have to know how to constructively deal with that. And so I just start surrounding myself around good people, but I also focus on positive things. And that leads me to the whole thing with the health situation. When you have people pass away from health issues, it makes me go harder to make sure that I try to stay as healthy as I can, because we find ourselves slipping, right?
Right.
And if you don't create a lifestyle of healthy habits, you're gonna shorten your lifespan, and something's probably gonna happen sooner than later because um, you're not focused on that. Be it gym, diet, keeping the stress levels down, etc. Right? You want to make sure that you are living the best possible life you can, stress free, trying to be happy, stay smiling, don't let things get you mad, don't let people rent up space in your head. You know what I mean? We all have to practice those things, and I don't think it just comes naturally because we got a lot of people that'll pop off just like that,
Oh
and
yeah.
you got some that'll keep things in and they don't talk to anybody. If you're one of those that withdraws and never shares anything, 9 times out of 10 it's internal. It's like cancer; it's building up, and at some point
Right.
you implode. We all just have to figure out how to manage this, and death is going to come. It's just knowing how to deal with it, and we all have our different ways and beliefs and how we get through it. We just have to get through it because life has to continue on. You have other people that are counting on you to still be there and do what you do and be who you are, and give them maybe some inspiration and information to move forward. So we don't have to belabor this too long and go on with it, right? But handling loss, we know is difficult. What I
Yes.
would say to the crowd is these 3 questions we asked each other basically: how do you react when you get the news? How do you mourn that loss when you get the news? What is your solution or coping mechanism for that loss? Share those with us in the comments, and let us know what you think. When this drops and you see it, let us know how you're coping with the loss of a loved one that you've had. Um, I want to make sure that I reach out to that family and show them some type of love, whether they knew me or not. We all love that person that was lost. If I can do any type of monetary donation or love offering to the family, I'm gonna do that too.
That's another
Um,
thing. Exactly. Are we? I
yeah,
mean, do do we sit there and offer you know uh, something financially, monetary, because they may be going through it. Some folks are fine. Do we? Is it something that is obligated of it, or is this something that you do out of the kindness of your heart?
you do what you can. Like I
Right.
said, times aren't easy, so you do what you can, and a little can add up to a lot from a lot of people, right?
Right.
So I've seen it time after time. We've seen the GoFundmes and things of that sort. Um, insurance, of course, is important. Um, I'm even guilty of the lag on that outside of the job. I mean, because if you lost that job, then what do you have? Having the coverage, having assets and things of that sort that will cover you in the event that something happens. Having
Right. Right.
some type of policy in place. All these things are important, and we don't think about it because we think we're going to be around forever. It's important. It's things that I'm looking at and focusing on. What can I do better to make sure that if something happens to me, that my family is taken care of? That's what's going to give me peace at the end of the day, that I know that they're going to be fine regardless of what happens to me. The pain and the loss of the person no longer being physically there is one thing, but it's going to be a lot worse to leave some bills and some debt behind that now they need to take on. So we
Mhm.
need to really be proactive about that, not only trying to be healthier and a healthier way of living because of all these crazy foods and illnesses and things, but um, prepping for this. I don't think we like to talk about loss and death because it's like taboo or something, but it's happening to us every day. Somebody's passing away right now.
Yeah. So I mean, with that being said, yes, these are. I mean, want to say precautions, but things to get ready. Like you say, people don't want to talk about death, but hey, sit down and be able to talk with your loved ones about, you know, insurance, you know, about last will and testament. We,
Live in trust.
yeah, these are things we really need to talk about. That, like you say, we don't. Like I say, I mentioned to my, I don't want to hear that. It needs to be talked about. That's really something. Hey, sounds like a podcast, but
hmm
definitely something. Yeah.
Have a family meeting, y'all. have a family meeting. I got to schedule mine. I need you to schedule yours.
Like that. I love
Yes.
that. If they ain't get anything, man, exactly. Get that, because I didn't see so many. I want
Right.
this. I need this. I'm doing this. Hey, this can't get paid for. How we gonna sit there and lay down? Grandma. How we gonna lay down, Dad? How we gonna lay down? Auntie Louise. How we gonna do this? Because nobody sat down and really talked about it.
Yeah. Yeah. She can't even rest easy in her casket because y'all fighting over her Cadillac. You know I wanted the caddy. I told you if she, huh? You know what I'm saying?
It
He
gets to the
gonna leave
point.
me the house. I'm the favorite. Come on, man.
Yo,
Stop.
that's real talk.
We
It gets to the
wild
point,
with it.
man. They're fighting over the plant. No, like, come on, really, come on. It shouldn't be you, right? She can't even rest easy because the people that are here are still not doing things right.
Mm-hmm.
Right, brother.
Claiming material things before she even in the ground good.
Man, I
You
got I
know?
got stories, man, that'll blow your hat in the creek about just my mom passing away. But
Yeah.
whew,
Yeah.
that's another
Yeah.
whole subject, brother.
That's another
Yes.
whole subject, whole nother podcast. But listen, y'all, we appreciate you tuning in. We're back. We're back. We're back. We want to get some great topics going. We're going to get out in the traffic. We're going to get out in these streets and we're going to interview and talk to some people about just life and things, that we can show you on the podcast. You may be one of the next ones that appear
I'm
on the show.
gonna put it out here right now,
Yes,
Sean.
sir.
I'm gonna put it out here right now, and you back me up with it or not. But I'm gonna put it out here. The thought candy perspective. The thought candy perspective, and
Let me write that down.
we may run into you. We may run into you, or maybe even you.
That's right. The thought candy perspective.
Right?
What's your perspective on
What's your
blah,
perspective?
blah, blah? Yeah,
Thank you.
I like that.
Holla at your boy.
Holla at your boy. Hey, with that being said, we're going to go ahead and check out. I'm
Can I at
on this
least get
tasty water.
can I at least get it because it was a Super Bowl? Like, can I at least get a Go Birds?
Jungle love. Yeah. I get
Yes,
a bird with you.
Go Birds. Shout out, hey, shout out to Mars. Shout out to Mars Day in the town for sure.
Hit you with that Stevie J.
You look just like him with the teeth, the rat teeth. Slow down.
Go Philly. Go Philly. Yeah.
You need to
We
stop.
clowning, y'all. Hey, have a blessed evening.
Yes.
Stay inspired, motivated, and educated, and stay tuned in more than anything. All right.
We love you, and ain't nothing you can do about it but love us back.
100.